Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be going through my 50 favorite makeup products. Since this is my 50th video, which seems insane to me, like I started in November. I only have like 100 subscribers, but I got 50 videos, so that's something. I'm a little blind right now. I don't have contacts in. I was gonna wear my glasses until I realized you would see nothing but light reflecting off of them. But if you just want to see what some of my favorite makeup products are, these are not in any particular order, but I did break them down by category. Then just keep watching. We're gonna start with primers. All right, so this first one, if you've watched any of my videos, you should know it is, I will never stop repurchasing this if they stop making it. Whew. This is the Revlon Photo Ready Pore Reducing Primer. Please excuse the fact that mine's messy, but it looks like this. This reduces the look of pores phenomenally. I haven't found anything that blurs like that primer does, period. I've tried the Touch 'n Soul No Problem. Doesn't do anything near to that one. The second one I want to talk about, this is more of a primer water, but I do use this more of a primer than I do like a setting spray or anything, and it's the Wet n Wild Photo Focus. This is the cucumber one. You guys know I prefer the coconut because this one smells like if cucumbers sat in a dumpster and then they put it in a bottle. That's what it smells like. The next one I want to talk about is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Dewy Primer. If you want a primer that gives you a nice glow under your foundation, this is it. It does not moisturize. I wish it did, but it doesn't, but it does give you a very beautiful glow. The last primer I want to talk about is the Soap & Glory One Heck of a Blot Primer. This one's just a good all-around primer, especially if you get oily in your T-zone, which I do with certain foundations. So this one's great as well. I had a fifth primer, that's the one I lost, so we're just gonna skip over it and move on to foundation. The first one I'm going to mention is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. I probably need a new one, this one's a little old. This is in the shade 110. I think this is the one that's a perfect match for me, or pretty close. But I love this foundation. It looks beautiful on the skin. I wouldn't necessarily say it makes your skin poreless, but very close, and it's pretty full coverage. The next one I want to talk about, I've used multiple times on my channel. It's the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear. Mine is in the shade 400. As you can see, it's very light. So this one I do end up mixing with another one. I wanted to get my correct shade because I've noticed that when I do use this on its own, it looks really dry on me, and I'm not sure why. Like, even if I use a really good moisturizer and all that stuff, it looks pretty dry. So maybe I should just get the right shade and see if that helps for some reason, but it's a fantastic foundation. The next one is the one I'm wearing on my face right now. This is the L'Oreal True Match. Mine is in the shade Fresh Ivory. Looks like this. Now this one isn't necessarily full coverage, but I love the way it looks on my skin. It dries down. It is a little matte, but I don't have to, I swear I just felt something curling on me. It is matte, but I don't have to set it, which I like that, and it's not like a drying matte, so that's good. But if you have like better skin than I do, it probably would be full coverage on you. The next one I want to talk about, this bottle's dirty, is the Milani Conceal Imperfect. The shade is too dark. Like, I can't match my shade very well. But I love this. I did it on its own, and even though the shade was wrong, it looked amazing. So I definitely want to get the right shade. And I enjoy mixing this one with the L'Oreal one, the Fresh Wear. The last one I want to talk about, jeez Louise, this is looking like a mess. This is also the wrong shade. But I love the foundation. This is the Maybelline 24 Hour Foundation. Comes like this. It has a pump, which is super, super nice. The L'Oreal one also comes in a pump, and so does the Milani. But the Maybelline Fit Me and the L'Oreal True Match do not. This is amazing coverage for a drugstore foundation. I just need to get the right shade, but I freaking love it. And I don't know if it's 24 hours, because I haven't tried. But it does wear very, very well. Next is concealers. I have 4 I want to talk about. The first one is, I feel like everyone's tried and true. It's one of the only high-end products I bought on my own. As you guys know, I basically stick to drugstore or affordable unless it came in a box return, but this I had to buy, and it's the Tarte Shape Tape. Mine's dirty. This is the shade Fair. I mean, if you got dark circles, girl, you need to get you some Shape Tape. However, the L'Oreal Full Wear Concealer, mine is in the shade Porcelain. I'd say it's a pretty close dupe. I don't know if it's exact, but the coverage on this is amazing. I prefer this shade over that one because this one is more pink, which I prefer under my eyes. But the coverage on this one is fantastic, and it's a lot cheaper. The next one I didn't expect to like as much as I do. Not that I expected I'd hate it or anything, but this is the Milani Conceal and Perfect Long Wear Concealer. Mine is in the shade Pure Ivory. It looks like this. The coverage on this one is super nice, and the finish is beautiful. Like, it's not drying, because I do find that the Tarte Shape Tape is pretty drying under my eyes. So I have been trying to look for something different, and that Milani does a really great job. The coverage is pretty close to the Shape Tape. The last one I want to talk about, this one's old. I need to get a new one. Ew, I really do need to get a new one. I'm gonna throw this away after this video. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. This is in the shade 15 Fair. I hope they have a little shade lighter than this, because for most of my foundations, I cannot use this under the eye because it's too dark. Now, if I'm wearing the Milani one, because that foundation's already dark on me, this concealer is fine. Like I said, I'm gonna toss this one because it's a little old. Next, we're gonna move on to bronzers. I have 4 bronzers I want to talk about. Ooh. The first one is the first bronzer I ever bought because it's probably the most hyped drugstore bronzer. This is the Physicians Formula. This one is not the original. I have the shade Light Bronze. If you don't know, it smells amazing. I think I'm gonna do swatches. I don't know if it'll work out really well in this video, but we're gonna try. Oh, I have a little bit of highlighter left on my hand. I don't know if that comes through. I don't have glasses on, so I can't tell. I might have to edit this part out. That is what the light one looks like. I love it. I mean, it's a very good bronzer. It blends out like a dream. The next one is probably a close favorite. I actually might even like this one better because of the color. Let me compare these to each other. Actually, the colors are pretty similar, I'd say. This is the Essence Sun Club bronzer. Actually, on camera, I didn't look quite as close. I actually find I like this undertone on me a little better. This one pulls a little more warm. I know a lot of people don't like warm bronzers, but I kind of do as long as it's not orange. I don't know how well this will swatch. I guess this is a little lighter, it looks like, than the Physicians Formula. We'll see when I edit, but it actually looks a little more yellow undertoned. But this one is fantastic as well. The next one is another one I've fallen in love with. This is the Wet n Wild Color Icon in the shade Ticket to Brazil. It looks like this. I'm gonna swatch that next to these two as well. Yeah, this one's the lightest of all of them. So if I'm wearing a foundation that's light, or one that's like pretty true to my skin tone, I'll choose that bronzer. That's this last one. And the final one is my Milani Baked Bronzer. This is in the shade 04 Glow. It looks like this. This is the one I'm wearing on my face right now. It is a little dark, but it does give you that subtle glow. Not quite a sheen. Like, I wouldn't say it's sheeny at all. Well, when you swatch it, it kind of is. Does this have an over spray? I don't think it does. Let me swatch it next to... Oh, this is on my knuckles. I'm so sorry. That one is this last one right here. And it's hard to tell if that actually is the bronzer or that highlighter I have on my hand. But I love this one, and like I said, it's the one I have on my face right now. Next, we're gonna go to blush. I didn't think I would be a blush person, but I'm starting to get there. So let's start off with the one I'm wearing right now. This is the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Blush. This is the shade Baby Blossom. Like I said, this is the one I'm wearing, and it looks like this. This was just a really nice blush. I love the undertone of it. This is a cool undertone. I love how they have undertones on blushes in this line. I think that's fantastic. This next one, everyone who like has watched YouTube for a while probably knows about this blush. Let me let me wipe my hands off those bronzers because I want to go ahead and swatch those. So let me go back and swatch the L'Oreal one real quick if I get my hand to dry. Like I said, this is the shade Baby Blossom. I'm gonna try to start further in my hand. This one is definitely just a true baby pink. There's that one right there. Like I said, the next one I'm going to talk about, a lot of people on YouTube have raved about for years. This is the Milani Baked Blush in the shade Luminoso. In the pan, it looks like this. Let me swatch it. This one definitely has a peachy undertone, but still has pink, and this one has a little bit of a sheen to it. I love it. It's beautiful. What is this second one right here? This one I like to mix with the next one, which if you've watched any of my videos, you would have known that. This next one is the Burt's Bees blush in the shade Bare Peach. It's very, very peach. Swatch it. This one I don't do a whole lot on its own because it is a little too peachy, which duh, like hello. But sometimes I do like to kind of put this on like closer to my bronzer and kind of mesh them together. And I really like the way that looks. That is that fourth one. Please excuse, or that's the third one, I'm sorry. The fact that I don't do swatches well. The next blush I want to talk about is from CoverGirl. I recently discovered this one. And I really like the smell of it too. This is the Peach Punch blush. I don't know if that's the shade name 2. I think it is. Looks like this. Now this one, I feel like if the Bare Peach and Luminoso had a baby and then you took out a lot of the sheen, that's what you'd get with this blush, because this doesn't have much sheen to it, but it doesn't swatch very well, but it applies pretty well in the cheeks. That is this fourth one right here. All right, I'm going to wipe my hand off because the last blush I want to show you is actually a trio. And if you watched my video where I was finally trying on my BoxyCharm stuff from May, I'll link that up above, then you'll know what I'm talking about. This is from Alamar Cosmetics. Look how cute this packaging is. It's adorable. It also has a fantastic mirror. Like, look, I'm using my phone. There are 3 shades in here. There is Castaway, Paraiso, and Scorcher. These 2 are they have more of a sheen. This one's more matte. I will try to do decent swatches for you. Like I said, I'm not used to doing swatches, but I'm trying to do that kind of thing more because I know people like to see that kind of thing. Oh, and this is the palette shade itself is for like light to medium skin tones. All right, so this one right here is Castaway, Paraiso, and Scorcher. As you can see, the orange ones, if you can tell on camera, have more of a sheen to them. They're all very beautiful though. I like to mix Scorcher and Paraiso. They're beautiful together. I'm probably not saying that right. I'm so sorry. Next category is my favorite. You guys ready? Love it. Highlights. There's a lot of highlights to go through. The first one is what I'm wearing now. I'm gonna try to apply it pretty subtly considering, you know, how blingy this is on its own. This is the ColourPop Super Shock Highlight in the shade Flexitarian. This is probably their most popular of the Super Shock. Oh my god, the formula of this. This is what it looks like in the pan. The formula of this, oh, it feels so good. Like I could just touch this all day, but let me swatch it. It's so blinding. Can you see that? Like that's ridiculous. Like, ugh. I don't know why I don't use this more often, because it's gorgeous. Granted, it's not for the faint of heart, but it's beautiful. Now, we'll go on to another one that's pretty intense. I've been using this on a lot on my channel. I think I did a video of like new makeup I bought at Walmart or something, and this is where I got that. This is the Milani Highlight Trio. This is the Rose Glow one, and specifically the shade Pearl, which is this one. I'm gonna swatch all three. Pearl is the only one I use because of my skin tone. These are great eyeshadows for me. They're just too dark, but I will go ahead and swatch all of them. Oh, it's so pretty. Yeah, that one's definitely if you have pretty fair skin tone, and I'm pretty fair. This one's so pretty though. That gold is beautiful. Those make beautiful eyeshadows though. Okay, so we have the shades Pearl, Golden Quartz, and Rose Gold. So we have Pearl, Golden Quartz, and Rose Gold. Like, they are just gorgeous. Put a little too much of those on there, but they're so pretty I couldn't stop myself. Swatch these off. All right, I guess we're going by intensity. This is the Cover FX Perfector Face Palette. There are 3 highlight shades in this. I'm only choosing this for one of the shades, but I will swatch all 3. Do they have names? Oh, they do have names. Okay. Let me swatch them on the back of my hand. Because the 2 actual highlights I find are too dark for me. Like, one of them I could probably kind of get away with, but this is labeled as a brightener shade, the one I am talking about mainly. And I really like it, especially if you have fair skin tone. Okay, so what are the shade names? Starlight, Moonbeam, and Divine. So we have Starlight, Moonbeam, and Divine. This is the shade I'm talking about. It's like the brightener shade. It's pearly, kind of like that Milani one. These 2 are a little dark for me, but that brightener shade is amazing, especially if you're like me and you love your inner corners to be popping. Like, if you want people to see you from outer space, that shade. All right, the next one I'm going to move on to is from e.l.f. It is their baked highlight in the shade Moonlit Pearls. Since this is a baked one, I had to tell people, scrape off the top layer or you're not gonna think this highlight's worth anything, but let me show you. I think that highlight is gorgeous. It's probably my favorite, simply because it's so affordable and it's so stunning. Like, it's probably my favorite. Now the next one, a lot of people are using this as like a illuminating face powder. I haven't tried that yet. I use it as a subtle highlight. This is the Essence Pure Nude Highlight in the shade Be My Highlight. It looks like this. I'll swatch it for you. Like I said, this one's a little subtle for me. Now granted, you can build it up. You're gonna look at this and be like, subtle? You said it's subtle? It looks like, I hope you guys can see these. Looks like that. It's not the most subtle, I guess, but that does take some building up to get it quite that bright, but I love it, especially if I am looking for that more natural look. Now the last 2 highlights I have are both from Wet n Wild. The first one is their loose highlighter in the shade I'm So Lit. The packaging looks like this. Let me swatch. The one thing I like about loose highlighters is you're never gonna run out. Like, it's a lot of product and you barely need any. Like, I'm just using some from the lid that's just left over. Now this highlight, I will say, if you don't like any kind of glitter, like Kathleen Lights does not like glitter on her face, She probably doesn't like this highlight. I'll give you another look. It does have glitter, but it's so beautiful. Like, I bet this would look fantastic at night, like going out. I don't go out ever, but it's stunning. And the last one, like I said, is also from Wet n Wild. I looked for this highlight for a while, and I think I mentioned it in one of my recent videos. I'll link it up above. This is their Mega Glow highlight in the shade Bloom Time. This is what it looks like in the pan. Not freaking gorgeous. And at first I was like, that's probably gonna be too dark for me, but it's not. I think it's just right. I think I first saw Kathleen Lights talk about this, and then I think Rach Loves did, and I want to say Tati did too. Could be wrong, but I know for sure Kathleen did. It's very pink and kind of golden. I hope you guys can see these, but it looks like that. Super pretty. I love it. Love it. Okay. We are going to... Yeah. Okay, bye.
Hi, everybody on Facebook world.
I'm not on Facebook.
YouTube land.
Anyways, I'm gonna save my eyeshadow palettes for last, and I'm gonna move in to, let's go to mascara, because I'm not gonna swatch mascaras. I have 5, and I'm basically just gonna list them off because I don't feel like sitting here talking about mascara forever. The first one, I really should throw this away and get a new one. I just haven't had the heart to do it yet. This is the Butter London Double Decker Lashes. Hands down, my favorite of all. My lashes look amazing with that. I'd say the next favorite of mine is the Too Faced Better Than Sex. I was like, there's no way it's any better than the L'Oreal Lash Paradise because that's supposedly a dupe. It is a little better, but I do love the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. It's affordable, and it does a fantastic job too, but for some reason the Better Than Sex I feel is a little better. The next one is the IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. I don't use this one quite as much, but I love the way that makes my lashes look as well. And this one is probably, it is the most affordable option. This is the Essence Volume Stylist 18-Hour Lash Extension Mascara. For the price, for what it does give you that volume. Fantastic. All right, let's move on to lipsticks. I have 2 categories. I have bullets and I have liquid lips. I have a lot of lip products. It's one of those things that are easy to buy. I mean, everything's easy to buy, but you know what I mean. Anyways, these are in no particular order. The first one we're gonna start off with, I love the packaging of these. This is the ColourPop. I think this is a Velvet Blur. Yeah, and this is in the shade 21 Questions. I'll swatch it for you. I love the stars. Like, ugh. So pretty. Oh, and it wipes that highlight off my hand. I love this shade. I need to get more. This is the only ColourPop lipstick I own. I have some liquid lips. But I freaking love it. Let me show you the shade. Ignore my swatch. My hand was still a little wet when this is kind of like a burnt brick kind of color, if you catch my drift. It's not matte, but it's not slippy. It's that Velvet Blur formula. It's kind of that in between, but it does stay on pretty damn well. The next one I want to talk about, I don't remember if I just bought this or if it came with something, but it's an Ulta Beauty lipstick. This is in the shade Petal. The packaging looks like this. By the way, I don't know if every brand does this, but did you know the bottom comes off? It has, like, you know, the color. Did you guys know that? I didn't. This is the only one I have that does that, but I thought that was interesting. Anyways, like I said, this is the shade Petal. This is kind of like a berry, I'd say this is a deep berry tone. Looks like that. It says it's matte. I don't find it to dry down super matte. It's a comfortable matte, much like the ColourPop. Definitely not too dry or anything. This next one, oh, this is not the right lipstick I meant to grab. Well, this is an e.l.f. lipstick. This is in the shade Ravishing Rose. See, this has like the little thing on the bottom too, but theirs doesn't. It doesn't come off. Like, I don't know if any other brand does that, if it was an accident that it came off. I don't know. Anyways, let's swatch this one. For the price of this lipstick, and for how much I love the shade, I highly recommend these. It's just e.l.f. I don't think it's any particular like line I know of. But this is what the shade looks like. This one's also very comfortable. As you can see, I lean pretty heavy towards like reds and berries. I don't do anything too dark or too crazy, but I do have other shades. The next one is also kind of a berry tone. This is the L'Oreal, I believe this is their Color Riche line. I mentioned it in my last video. This is the shade Rebel Rogue. Looks like this. I love their packaging. It's fancy looking for the drugstore. This shade though, oh, it's so pretty. Like it's, now this one is pretty matte. It's not quite uncomfortable, but I do find, obviously not what I'm wearing now, the formula is kind of stiff, if that makes sense, which I did mention in that last video. The last bullet lipstick I want to talk about, this is the shade Baddest Beige from Maybelline, not Kathleen Lights. Ooh, I talk about her a lot. Jaclyn Hill mentioned this in several videos ago. This is a nude, obviously. Looks like this. I will swatch it. But it is beautiful. It is a shiny formula. I don't know what the technical term is for that. I love putting this on top of Maybelline's lip liner Beige Babe, or mine broke and I threw it away, so I'm not sure. But for a nude, this is probably my favorite. I do have others, but this one takes the cake. Next, we're gonna move on to liquid lip. I'm so sorry this video is long. Hopefully you guys are still here. We're gonna start with the one I'm wearing. This is from ColourPop. It is in collaboration with Kathleen Lights. My sticker came off, but I'm pretty sure this is the shade Lucky Star. This was from her Twinkling Lights collection. And this is the Ultra Satin Lip. They also have Ultra Matte Lips. I'm not the biggest fan of those, but the Ultra Satin Lips, love them. The packaging looks like this, very pretty. It came out in the winter, which was like a really cool theme. But this is like, to me, now granted I may not have the best eye for color, but I feel like this is a true blood red. Like it's comfortable. Now I did, under mine today, I did put chapstick on because my lips were extra dry today. And I didn't want to make the lip look any more dry because it's not its fault. It's my lip's fault. The next one I want to talk about is from Wet n Wild. This is their liquid catsuit, or Mega Last liquid catsuit. Mine is in the shade Give Me Mocha. Looks like this. I will do a swatcheroo. Now this, the only complaint I really have about this formula, and you might be able to tell in my swatch, I'm not sure, is you don't get full opacity with even just 2 swipes. I find I have to like do my lips, let it dry a few, and then go back over it. Otherwise I feel like it keeps picking itself back up, if that makes sense. But these are pretty comfortable. Not the most comfortable. They do get a little cracky on me personally. I don't know why that's the only shade I own. I know they just came out with their like high shine versions of that, and I want to try. This next one is from NYX. This is their NYX Lingerie liquid lip, I guess. It's in the shade Cabaret Show. Packaging looks like this, pretty standard. This is the first liquid lip I've ever tried from NYX. I don't own very many NYX products. The applicator is a little weird to me, but it has a weird smell. But this is what it looks like. It does dry down matte. It's very comfortable. I really like this shade. I do want to try other ones. But yeah, it lasts a pretty long time. Now, this next one, I can't lie. A lot of the reason I like it, not all of it, but a lot of the reason I like it is for the smell. Sorry, not sorry. This is L'Oreal's Infallible Pro Matte Liquid Lipstick. This is their chocolate. Sorry, there's glitter all over it. Like the chocolate line they came out with. Mine is in the shade Candyman. It smells so good. It looks like this. This is like purple. It's purple with like a gray undertone, I'd say. I love this shade. I bought another shade. I'm gonna go swatch it for you guys. I might give this to somebody. I don't like this shade on me. I don't know if it's my skin tone. Maybe someone with a deeper skin tone, it would look better. This is the same line, but this is in the shade Sweet Tooth. And I'll just swatch it next to this one. It's too brown for me. It's this one right there. It's just not right for my skin tone. So if anyone that's watching this that I know wants it, come get it. It just doesn't look great on me, but those smell so good. All right, and the last liquid lip I'm gonna talk about. I've only tried this twice, but I'm in love with the formula. I'm in love with the shade. I want more shades. I love the packaging and its dose of colors. This is the shade Stone. It came in a BoxyCharm. I'm sure a lot of you got it. But, oh, this is another purpley mauve kind of shade. It dries down. It's so beautiful. It's not dry yet, obviously, on my hand, but it's so comfortable. I ate with it, drank with it, and it was still on. I cannot wait to get more of those. That formula is the bomb. All right. We are going into our last thing. I'm not swatching these, guys. I might swatch a few shades, but we'd be here forever if I swatched every color from all my favorite palettes. We're gonna start with the smallest palette and just go to the biggest, just because that's how they're stacked. As far as affordability goes, Wet n Wild, can't beat it. This palette is Rosé in the Air. I don't know why I don't own more of these. It looks like this. A lot of people say this is a close dupe to the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. I don't own any high-end palettes, so I wouldn't know. But for the price, I actually have this transition shade. My phone cut me off again. I'm sorry you're at a different angle. My tripod broke. It's a whole thing. Charlie's crying in the background and I'm trying to finish this video. Like I was saying, I used this shade in my crease today. That is all I have on my lid. Like I said, affordable, fantastic. The next one is also at the drugstore. This is from Milani. Wow, this gets fingerprinty. This is the Pure Passions palette, which looks like this. It has a lot of pink going on, if you like that kind of thing. The foiled shades are pretty good, not the best, but the mattes I find are fantastic. Sorry I'm speeding through this, but shit's pissing me off. The next one is from ColourPop and Kathleen Lights. Is the Dream Street palette. You guys know I love this palette so much. I'm gonna swatch just a couple. I'm gonna swatch the shade Mermaid Boy, that pretty blue. I'll just swatch this one. Just because, holy freaking crap. Look at it, it's so pretty. I hope you guys can see. I can't tell what you guys can and can't see because I don't have glasses on and I'm blind right now. All right, let's quickly move on. The next palette is from Makeup Revolution in Soph. I don't know if it's Soph X or if that means Soph times Makeup Revolution. I don't know, someone correct me. But the palette looks like this. It has a huge mirror. I love it. It's not the greatest formula, but the color selection is fantastic. And the foiled shades work pretty good, but I reach for it a lot. The next one is the Through My Eyes palette with ColourPop, and I love Sahari. Looks like this. Beautiful, beautiful. I've used this in several videos recently. And finally is my Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette, Hella Dirty. I know there's a lot of shit going on with her right now. I don't care. We're not talking about that. I'm talking about her palette because this palette is beautiful. You get so many shades. I don't know why I'm holding it that way. So many shades. The foiled ones are freaking gorgeous. I'm gonna swatch a couple. Like this golden one Queen, I believe, is the shade. Like, look, they're so buttery and beautiful. And let's swatch this green shade. I'll have to look up the shade name for that one. Like, they just swatch so well. They go on the eyes beautifully. They're buttery. Like, they're just, I love these shadows. I'm not sorry. Like, they're fantastic, I think. But yeah, that is this video. Sorry that I like got cut off so many times. I don't know what's going on with my phone storage. But that completes this video. I can't believe this is number 50. Here is to 50 more. If you do like this video, please hit the like button. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Share, tell other people to subscribe. Like, I'd appreciate it so, so much. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.